So last time, when we left off, the party had located the sword to which they had ventured to Argynvostholt in search of. Um, Dane ended up wielding the thing, which is essentially just a hilt that can spout forth a blade of sunlight. Um, After that, the party decided to kind of head back downstairs, and they did split up. Melkar was mostly hanging back by the wagon, if I'm not mistaken.
I was on top.
Yeah. And then, was it the entire rest of the party? I feel like it was.
Ron went back later, though.
Well, there was some exploring done, where the party stumbled across a talking shape of a dragon made of flame that erupted from one of the fireplaces in the mansion. Essentially beseeching them to save the knights of the mansion from the darkness that has consumed them. They also found a dusk elf who was on the verge of quite possibly dying from wounds he had sustained in an attack. But after healing him up a bit, he provided you a little bit of background on the mansion and the history of those who have dwelled in it. After a little more exploring, the group made their way out to the cemetery, sort of confined within the wrought iron fence outside. And at the other side of the cemetery, they found a mausoleum of sorts. It was marked as that of Argynvost, who you had learned was the master of this mansion and a dragon. And at the very last second when we left off, Yoan had just decided to venture inside and see what there is to be seen. So, Yoan steps inside the mausoleum of Argynvost. And
I'll step in cautiously.
okay. Let's see here. So, as you'd already kind of peered in before, you can see a little bit more clearly now that kind of the dull daylight of the Barovian overcast day is shining in a bit. The interior of the mausoleum is dark and dusty. You see 4 empty alcoves with raised floors, and etched into the far wall is a verse written in Draconic. I believe, had we already interpreted this?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
We determined that Draconic is German.
Ah, indeed. But I would say since the most effort that it could possibly take to find this would be saying, hey, Malkar, or wait, I think Ron speaks it, doesn't he?
Ron.
Yep.
That's what we did. So Ron read out loud, "Here lie the bones and treasures of Argynvost, Lord of Argynvostholt, and founder of the Order of the Silver Dragon." As you have thrown open the door, you can see that really those 4 alcoves and the verse etched on the wall are pretty much all that's in here.
Cool.
Yep.
No bones or anything?
No, conspicuously missing are the bones that are supposedly here. Well, and the treasures. Those are also missing.
Cool. Hmm.
Can I Arcana check the mausoleum?
Sure.
Sweet. I'm mainly looking for, like, traces of magic.
Okay. If there is any magic about, it has long since sort of waned, and any signs of it are all but undetectable.
Alright, so I'll just say, well, looks like this guy packed up and left.
I do
check it.
not. Oh, sorry.
Okay, check if there's any secret doors or anything like that.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can I assist him?
Sure, so Austin, go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
I do not appreciate Ron's pun.
Do you ever?
Maybe occasionally.
Alright, looking around, you do not find anything untoward about any of the surfaces in here, and it would seem that there are no secret doors or passages to be found.
Okay.
Is there any evidence of a person that seems to have came here and taken away things?
Go ahead and I guess make a perception check.
Did that go through?
It did.
Okay.
Not really, no. No signs of anything.
Hmm.
Well, Ron gets bored and goes back outside and continues marching around the cemetery singing. In Draconic.
Okay.
I don't know what to do at this point, so I also leave.
Yep, I'll go outside.
Alright. So, as you all venture out and back into the cemetery, you suddenly get the feeling that someone or something is watching you.
I've been feeling that for a while.
Can I pinpoint where I think the watching is coming from?
Make a perception check.
Ah!
Nailed it. Nope, don't sense anything.
So, looking around, your gaze eventually falls on a high tower window off toward your right as you look at the building. In that window, you spot a well-dressed man with a thick mane of hair, just seemingly observing you. As you make eye contact, he draws the curtain and disappears from view.
I ask if anyone saw that.
Saw what?
The man in the window.
I see a
was
lot of
watching
men
us.
in a lot of windows.
What window?
Yeah, what
I
window?
point out the window.
There's
Is
nobody
it-
there.
Is it the window of the tower we went up in?
Are you referring to like where you found the sword and all that?
Yeah.
No, that tower is on your left. The one that you seem to have been watched from is toward the right, sort of in the north wing of the house.
How far is that window away from me?
Let's see here. So it would be 20 feet up, and then another, call it 20 feet horizontal distance.
Alright, I'm gonna walk 10 feet towards it. I'm gonna Misty Step into it.
Okay.
I'm going to head around into the house to try and get there in case Ron just Misty steps into danger.
Well, it says he has to be able to see it. He closed the curtain, so you're going to teleport on the outside of the window?
No, they pointed out what window. I'm teleporting to the other side of the window.
But you can't see the other side.
He can see right to the inside of the curtains.
Yeah, so I will teleport inside the curtains.
It would seem that's going to happen, and so there's just suddenly like this big round-shaped lump between the curtain and the window.
Yep. And I just throw the curtains aside. And what do I see?
Okay.
I hear you laughing over there.
Yeah. All right. So, as you throw the curtain up and take a look around, you see a room that is littered with the wreckage of what looks like ancient bunk beds. 5 dirt-caked windows allow very little light to enter the room. And between these windows are 4 empty armor stands. Empty torch sconces also line the walls. And as you're looking around, you see materializing in front of you 4 humanoid shapes. Very similar to the ghostly warriors that you fought earlier in your visit to Argynvostholt.
Alright, I'm gonna nope the fuck out. I'm going back outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna reappear right back where I was.
All right.
And I'm gonna look around and do I see Yoan still standing around? Or is Yoan running off?
Maybe you just like catch the back of Yoan as he's running back in.
Can I cast... Is it long enough to cast message on Yoan?
You could do that.
Alright, I'm gonna cast message on Yoan and say, Yoan, wait. There's 4 baddies up there, and they don't look happy.
I do like that cartoon stop. And I tell Ron, well, we should group together and dispose of them because they keep watching us.
I look over to... Did Dane start following, or is he just kind of standing there dumbfounded at what just happened?
I'm just standing in the courtyard.
I look over at Dane and I say, there's 4 guys up there. You ready to hopefully not have another balcony collapse on you?
That'd be great.
Alright. Well, we probably should go get Melkar and head up there and figure out what's up with them. They didn't look happy.
All right, so you're heading over to fetch Melkar then?
Yeah.
Okay. And what has Melkar been doing in the meantime?
I've still been trying to finish up my arcane focus.
Okay.
Did we take a short rest sometime in between our last fight and now?
Did you?
Yeah, because he attuned to the sword, so we would have had to.
That is correct.
Okay,
Yeah, you
one
took
at
a
the top
short
of the
rest.
tower.
Exactly.
I forgot to use a hit die. Okay. That's it.
Okay. So the majority of the party then makes their way back into the house and through the dining hall and great entry chamber, out the front doors, and regroup with Melkar, who is just sitting there on top of the wagon, working on his focus.
As one does.
So is Malkar on board with the idea of heading upstairs and taking on some ghosts?
I guess.
Okay.
Where were Octavio and Esmeralda?
They seem to have been maybe 15, 20 feet away from the wagon having a conversation of some sort.
All right,
Sort of hushed, but yeah.
I'll walk up to them and let them know what I found and everything.
Okay. And yeah, in
I will
response to that,
tell them that we're being watched also.
yeah, they, upon hearing that especially, are certainly willing to head up and help out with whatever trouble you might be running into. So, the whole party now back together. You guys gonna try and find your way up?
Yep.
All right. So, judging by the position of where that room is in the house, you gather that you may actually have to traverse the fallen balcony from earlier events. So,
Oh, lovely.
yeah. So there is, let's see, that would be an approximately, 10-foot square of missing balcony, but it's sort of a corner that you have to traverse to make it to this room, or so it would seem. So essentially, think of it as a T intersection with the very middle of it missing, and you are coming from one arm of the T and want to go down the tail.
Well, who's going first?
It would probably be somewhere around a 5-foot horizontal jump to cross this.
Is there enough room to get like a 10-foot running start?
Sort of. You'd probably have to change your course a little bit over the run, but could happen.
From the chapel, are any of the pews able to be moved just to lay across it?
Well, it seemed to work last time you dealt with a fallen balcony.
Okay. Go grab some pews and lay them across.
Okay. So this is a little less stable than maybe last time, as you're not really just bridging a small gap. You're kind of forming a path from, well, kind of on an angle, so it's tough to really brace the pews against anything. But I would
I'll hold
say,
it. I'll hold
Okay.
one side steady.
all right. And so Yoan is holding it steady, and, well, I guess who's going first?
I guess since I knocked it down, I'll go first. Test the
Alright.
waters.
All right. Go ahead and give me a. Let's call this just a general dexterity check. So, as Malkar sort of climbs up on the pew that's stretched across the gap in the balcony, it would seem he finds a somehow still very well polished section of it, so much so that it's slippery, and the soles of his feet just slide right off. And before you know it, he's falling.
How far is the wagon from us?
The wagon?
Yeah.
Probably 40 to 50 feet horizontally and then 20 feet down.
I would like to think of that location and dimension door towards it while I'm falling, if possible.
Okay, so like in Portal, a portal just appears underneath where Melkar is falling, and you just see him disappear into this temporary rift in reality, and the door closes behind him. And Melkar, you find yourself safely back at the wagon, but, well, they may or may not know that.
Not wanting to risk it, I'm just gonna stay there.
Okay.
Alright, guys, don't fall off because you will fall into a portal.
Do I have an idea of what Melkar just did?
Make an intelligence check. Yeah, you're pretty sure those weren't curse words he was mumbling under his breath, and he probably opened that intentionally.
Melkar fell through a portal of his own making.
What an idiot.
I mean, he was falling.
Yeah, but if you're falling and you fall into a portal, aren't you still falling?
You can fall closer to the ground and take less damage.
Okay. Good enough for Ron.
I am not convinced that Ron understands anything I just said.
I mean, that's fair.
Who am I repeating through?
Well, let's have a look, shall we?
I don't know, say something.
Hello?
That would be Austin.
Oh, okay.
That's strange.
I mean, it sounds strange to me too.
Did you have your volume up too high, Austin?
No, I can turn it down though.
But yeah, I am definitely not convinced that Ron knows exactly what I said.
Is there any
Probably
rubble
fair.
nearby?
I mean, there's an entire fallen balcony, but it's about 20 feet down.
Is there like anything small up by like within arm's reach that I could just grab and throw off the edge?
There might be a few little pieces here or there, yeah.
Alright, I want to grab it, throw it off the edge, and see if it disappears in a portal.
Surprisingly, it doesn't. Just clatters to the ground.
I look back at you and you're exactly right. And then I'll just hop up on the pew and try to walk across.
All right, give me a dex check.
Yeah, I just blink at Ron.
Okay. So Ron hops up and a little wobbly. You know, maybe that lifetime of liberal substance use. We won't call it abuse, but liberal use. Catching up with you a little bit.
Yep.
Kind of teeter and wobble and kind of feel the pew slide a little bit under your feet, but you do eventually make it across, although maybe a bit hesitantly at points.
Alright, I go next.
Okay. Give me a dex check. All right. So Dane hops up, and as he climbs up, the pew just somehow seems to get away from Yoan enough to tilt, rock just a little. And unfortunately, that's all Dane needs to kind of lose his balance and go plummeting down toward the pile of the balcony that once fell on him.
Hey,
Perhaps
now
some
you
sort
know.
of sweet, sweet vengeance.
Now you know what the balcony felt like.
I think I weigh less than the balcony.
Probably
But are
fair.
you sure?
Ron just shrugs.
I yell out if he is okay.
Well, he did take 6 points of damage, but other than that, seems to be all right.
That's not too bad. You'll live.
Yep, not too bad.
Ask him maybe your suit of armor should go next? Are you bringing him?
No,
Probably should
it's
have
staying
had a
outside.
grab it.
They can stay outside.
Okay. I guess I'll walk across while waiting for Dane to make his way back up the stairs.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dex check. Alright, so Yoan just hops right up and strolls right across. No issue.
Show off.
I just don't understand why that was so difficult for other people, or you're just walking.
Alright. I guess I make it up the stairs and try it again.
Okay. So this time, Rictavio kind of stoops down and holds the pew in place best he can.
Can I try and catch Dane? Like, grab his arm and, like, the railing of the balcony with my other hand so I don't just fall with him?
Alright, give me... First, let's call it a dex save to react quickly enough to catch him. Okay.
Gosh, this isn't my Dex character, but I'm rolling really nicely for him.
So you just kind of launch yourself back enough to catch him by the hand, and then give me an athletics check to both stay up there yourself and haul him back up to safety. All right,
Gee.
and so you do.
Well then.
Gosh, this is making up for my earlier game. I did roll a couple of nat 20s there, though.
All right. So all of you being across, or in Malkar's case, being back at the wagon.
What about Esmeralda? Or Rictavio?
We're getting to that.
Oh, okay.
So Rictavio is still holding the pew, and Esmeralda attempts to make her way across. But she does. Just slow and steady, kind of sobriety test style. Not really much of an issue.
I'm holding the other side, so now it's
Okay.
more stable on both sides.
Okay, good. And then finally that brings us to Rictavio, who just kind of strolls across. No big issue there.
Is he also a show-off?
Nope.
Not quite as much as you, but pretty close. Alright. So, having traversed that deadly obstacle, you find yourselves in a hallway that goes on ahead of you from where you kind of reached this section. It goes on for about another 40 feet before ending in a wall directly ahead of you, but then splitting in another T intersection to your left and right. Along the way, there is a door on your right that seems to hang just slightly ajar, opening in toward whatever might be behind there. What would you like to do?
Eldritch Blast the door.
I was going to sneak and peek in. But not if he is blowing a hole in the door.
Eldritch Blasting the door.
Duly noted. So, Ron, Eldritch blasts the door. And let's see here.
And then I'll hide behind Yoan.
Because of
course.
course.
All right. So the door slams open. And nothing seems to happen.
Now I will turn towards Ron, give him a look, and stealthily peek into
I've always wanted to
the
do
door.
Oh.
Take 2 steps into your
Pretty much.
floorboard.
Yeah, so
I tried.
Yoan attempts to creep forward stealthily, and you're just kind of poking your head in, seeing what's there.
Yep.
All right. So now beyond the blown wide open door, you see 2 beds with torn canopies standing against opposite walls, with a tattered rug lying on the floor between them. Set into the far wall, directly across from the door through which you're looking, is a fireplace, black with soot. Soft hissing sound issues from the fireplace.
Like it's been recently lit?
It doesn't seem to have a fire in it. It just seems to be hissing.
Or there's a snake in the fire.
You don't know this. You're not here. I mean, you're here, but you're not here.
Fair enough.
Anywho. Okay, but I see no ghosts.
No?
I turn towards Ron and stand up and say, I don't see any ghosts in here. Is this the room you saw?
I'll walk up and take a peek in. That's not the room I saw, is it?
It is not.
Nope, not the right room.
Okay. I guess onward to more rooms.
I'm gonna walk in the room anyway.
Okay. You walk in the room and you see 2 beds with torn canopies against opposite walls. A tattered rug lying on the floor between them, and a blackened, hissing fireplace just across from the door.
Yoan, you're more used to, like, things like this. Is that fireplace supposed to be hissing?
Can I investigate the fireplace?
Sure. How would you like to go about doing that?
Is it made of, like, stones? So
Yeah.
I want to kind of, like, inspect the stone, see if there's any, like, air leaks, and then look into the fireplace and make sure there's no holes or anything near the, bottom, and then look up the chimney.
Okay. Alright, so you head over, and as you're just kind of closing in on the fireplace, there is a quick blast of wind that emanates from it, and a small hissing dragon made of ash and smoke erupts from the fireplace, flying up and filling the room with soot as it beats its wings.
I'll say, hey, I know you. We met your brother downstairs. We're trying to save those guys, right? You want us to save the guys down there? No response?
Sorry, push to talk. There are a couple flaps of its wings as it just continues to blow soot and whatever loose dust and debris is there around the room. Just kind of keeping itself aloft.
And it doesn't make any reactions or anything towards us?
Well, it keeps itself suspended there for a couple of seconds, and it sort of takes off toward the door.
I want to follow it.
All right, leaving a sort of settling trail of ash and soot behind it. It flies out the door, turns left back toward the hole that you guys just traversed, and flies around the corner to the right, which is the arm of that T intersection that you have not yet explored. As it does so, it then obviously goes out of sight.
Well, should we follow it this way?
I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation and clean up all the soot that it just made a mess of.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna inspect the fireplace and see if maybe this is a fortress in a fortress.
Okay. How are you inspecting it exactly?
So I pull out my paper, take a look at it, and say, and I kind of read it and go, fortress in a place hidden behind fire. So I'm going to prestidigitation all the soot and shit at the bottom of the fireplace. I'm gonna crawl up like inside the fireplace and kind of look around.
Okay. I guess make an investigation check.
Alrighty.
It's a nice, clean fireplace.
Can I Arcana check the fireplace?
Sure.
Does Yoan detect
Oh
me?
my goodness.
This fireplace is decidedly unmagical.
Okay. Can I then also investigate it? Continue my investigation from earlier?
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. It is, in fact, a very clean fireplace.
It's impressive how clean the fireplace is.
Well, I just cleaned it.
I know. I didn't know you had... Oh, I knew you cleaned things well, but this is very clean. I'm proud of you.
As soon as Yoan turns around, I cast Prestidigitation on a tiny spot and make it dirty.
Indeed. And so this little black mark appears in the fireplace.
And
I mean,
will climb
Yoan
on the
doesn't see
fireplace.
it, so...
I'll crawl back out of the fireplace and follow Yoan.
Okay.
I want to... How much longer does it look like this hallway goes on?
If you were to go back out into the hallway and turn right after leaving the room that you're in, there would be about another 20 feet before you would head straight into a wall. Over those last 10 feet, you can see that hallways then branch out to the left and right.
Well, I turn towards the group and ask if we should finish exploring this wing or follow after the fireplace dragon.
I don't know, that dragon wasn't very nice. He didn't talk to me like the other one did.
Let's keep exploring this wing.
Do Rictavio and Esmeralda care?
No, they just seem to be constantly surveying their surroundings, making sure that there's nothing hostile or what have you around. They're seemingly content to continue along with you, whichever way you decide to go.
Okay. Let's continue searching this wing then.
Okay. Is that the consensus?
Sure.
All right.
I'll look
So-
over at Dane and say, stay away from any holes in the floor, though.
Yep, that's why I don't want to go after the dragon.
All right. So, 10 feet down the hall, you are faced with the decision to go right or go left. You can tell looking forward that this seems to be one of the northern walls of the mansion. And so, Ron, give me an intelligence check.
Oh.
Okay. So, it would stand to reason that the room that you had appeared in is the one down the hallway to the right. As you can see that there is nothing but a single door at the end of the hallway.
What's to the left?
Essentially a mirror image of that, a single door. You can see, looking out the windows on this north wall, that each door appears to open into a tower, probably 30 feet in diameter.
I will cast message to Yoan and say, I popped into the room on the right. That's where they were.
Is the door to the room on the right open?
Both doors leading out of this hallway seem to be closed.
Can I try my best to sneakily open the door to the right?
Sure, give me a stealth check.
I tried. Never said I was good.
Every step you take, the floor just screams.
Thinking like a
So-
mandrake.
Yep.
Yeah, so Yoan attempts to creep forward. In reality, it's more like thump, 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 thump. And as you get about halfway there, you hear this rumbling sound, seemingly coming from behind you, the hallway that you had entered from. It almost sounds like a grinding of stone on stone.
Do we all hear this?
Yes, you do, and as you quickly turn and survey your surroundings, you see a wall of stone rising up to essentially turn this T intersection into a straight hallway leading from one tower to the other, with a door on each end.
So our escape has been blocked.
So it would seem.
Right. Which way is the cart?
The cart would be, generally speaking, toward the leftmost tower.
I'm gonna stealthily try to head towards the left-hand side of the hallway then.
Okay. So it's not as noisy as Yoan, but the floor still squeaks with every footfall. As you make it again about halfway to the other door, both doors fly open, and you see ghostly figures come running out of them.
I'm gonna turn and run.
Where to?
I'm gonna go hide behind Yoan.
Do the ghostly figures seem aggressive?
You would say so, yes.
Do I know how to get out of this place from here?
We can't. Our way out has been blocked.
I mean, there's two hallways. Does one of the hallways seem familiar?
Well, So essentially, what you've got is what would have been your left and right hallways as you approached are your two hallways that are still open. So you've got the tower that Ron says he teleported into, which is still straight in front of you, as it's the one you're going to investigate. And then there is whatever is at the other end of the hallway, opposite the direction you chose to go, and toward the direction where Ron chose to go. On the north wall, there are 3 windows, though they are probably about 20 feet from ground level. To clarify,
Uh,
what I mean by that, as I realize it sounds a little confusing, is you can obviously access the windows from here, but if you were to say fall out of them or jump out of them, it would be a 20-foot fall to the ground outside.
To
Yeah.
the cemetery, right?
Not to the cemetery, to the northern exterior of the mansion. So it would be outside the fence, outside the entire perimeter of the mansion, but down toward kind of a steep decline into a river valley that you would have seen looking out to the north. Still possibly negotiable, but, well, that's your decision to make.
I'm gonna look at Dane and say, "You got this. You got the new sword. Go kill him." And I'm gonna inspire him.
Okay. I suppose at this point I should get everything ready to roll some initiative.
I'm just not whittling some runes into my staff.
Indeed.
just doesn't care about us.
Nope.
I gave up after almost falling 20 feet.
Heaven forbid you take 5 damage.
I mean, why didn't you just teleport to the other side
'Cause
when
he's
you
an
were
asshole.
falling? Like,
Melkar's an asshole. He doesn't care.
Please hold while I drag your minis over.
How thick are the walls, and what are they made of? Like the inner walls.
They seem to be made of stone,
Oh.
and probably 2 to 3 feet.
Oh, okay. There goes my idea.
how wide are the hallways?
About 10 feet. Still moving minis. And put people where they were in the hallway. Okay. So, all y'all can go ahead and roll initiative, at least those of you that are here.
See blackness.
Nat 20.
You see blackness because you're not here.
Your own fault.
I blame gravity.
I also see blackness. Oh, there we go. There.
And
Now
the
I can
hallway by
select.
the hallway by Dane is cut off, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Did you guys not use your special initiative buttons?
It didn't show up until too late, so yeah. Like, I kept checking, and it wasn't there, and it wasn't there, and now it's suddenly there, and now it's gone again.
Yeah, mine didn't pop up, so I just clicked the regular initiative button.
Push to talk!
Even when you clicked on your mini, it didn't show up?
Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah, I looked. Now it does. Now that I rolled initiative, it's
Yeah,
there.
mine's gone now that I've rolled. Like,
There it is.
mine, like, I don't know, blings on and off?
Yeah, mine's there now, but
Okay. Cool. Well, then let me roll for Esmeralda and Octavio. Or the sketchy motherfucker formerly known as Rictavio, whose name you do actually know but choose not to use.
He asked us not to.
No, actually, I
It's
think that was a Ron decision.
yeah, it's just easier to call him Octavio. Rudolf von Richten.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All
Phantom
right.
Warrior.
So, one moment while I open the doors.
That Octavio initiative.
That's not Octavio.
The bottom one?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that one.
He's not impressed by it.
You're not there. You don't know.
I'm like Sadie.
Okay. And to clarify, you guys can see the thing, the hallway to the south?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Which way's south?
Down.
Down.
I mean, I see a little bit of it, but not too much. But I think that's due to my position.
I think his whole point is it should be closed off.
Yeah. Can you guys still see it?
Yep.
No.
That's interesting. You shouldn't be able to, but fuck it.
I'll just not go down there.
Yep. Okay. So, that being the case, and these guys already beginning to pour out of the rooms, it's going to look a little more like this.
Oh, that's a lot of them. Oh, God.
So, that being the case, Ron, what are you doing?
All right, I'm going to face this one, whichever one's coming out first on this side, and I'm going to say, hey, wait. We met your friend downstairs. He said to save you. Any reaction?
Doesn't seem like it.
All right, I'm going to back up, and I'm going to go, oh, fuck it, and Eldritch Blast him.
Okay.
It's like 2 of those.
All right. So one of those hits, and you deal your 2 points of force damage.
Do I still have a bonus action?
Yeah.
I am going to look at Esmeralda and say, "Save me!" And I'm gonna try to inspire her. And then that will end my turn.
Okay. Marking Esmeralda with inspiration. Should also do that for Dane, I suppose.
Yep.
Okay. So Dane, what are you doing?
I'll pull out that sun sword and see if they do anything.
Okay, so you pull out the sun sword, and the blade just whoosh, emanates from the hilt, casting a light over the hallway. They don't seem to hesitate in the least.
Okay. I'll move down the hall, stand there next to again.
Okay. And just waiting for the oncoming assault.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Bit of advice, since you're not actually like taking an action this turn, you can
Okay.
use an action to essentially take on a defensive stance and impose disadvantage on incoming attacks. So, you kind of sacrifice your ability to make an action to make it harder for others to hit you.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay, you do that. In the meantime, as I'm marking that as well, Yoan, what are you doing?
I am going to cast a spell. It shall be this one. And I am casting a saber-toothed tiger right there.
Okay. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna go and pull out Rictavio's Sabertooth Tiger Mini, because that. Oh, 1 second. There we go. Now it's showing up. Okay. You produce a saber-toothed tiger.
Yay! Push to talk.
Fuck! I'm motioning, damn it. It appears and snarls at the oncoming enemies, bearing its massive fangs. Anything else?
I am going to instruct it to attack the spectral creatures.
Okay. Oh, and I need to roll initiative especially for him. Alright, so unfortunately that means he has to wait the longest possible time before getting to do anything, but you've got a saber-tooth tiger.
Okay.
And that's it?
Yep.
Okay. So, that brings us to Esmeralda. Who is going to do a thing. And by do a thing, I mean she is going to...
Cast Wish and wish them all away.
Totally. No, you see her make a quick hand motion and mutter something under her breath, and you see her form seemingly split into 4 different shapes, all of which seem to be Esmeralda. That's it. So, that then brings us to the enemies. Alright, I guess we'll start with the left hallway. So, these 2 are going to come out and square up with the group.
These aren't the things we fought downstairs, are they?
These bear a pretty close resemblance to the things you fought as you were ascending the tower. Sort of ghostly looking warriors.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Alright. So, need to make one quick change here. Alright. So, the one at the top is going to take a couple of swings at the difficult to discern shape of Esmeralda. One whiffs horribly. The other also whiffs horribly. And even though the spectral longsword that this thing is swinging seems to connect with her forms, you just see it pass right through. So, that'll bring us to the next one down, which is going to then attack Ron.
Of course it will.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Well, that's a 24 to hit.
Just barely.
Yeah, okay, so you take 6 points of force damage.
Alright.
And then that's a 12 to hit.
Oddly enough, that doesn't hit. I sneeze, and the longsword passes over my head.
Alright. Okay, so then one's gonna... But it doesn't seem to have any means of... Oh. Actually, it comes up behind them and proceeds to disappear.
We're missing some of what you're saying, Eric.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. It comes up behind the 2 that have already engaged the group and then seems to disappear through the wall to the south.
Oh, good. He ran away.
Yeah.
That was Ron.
Okay, so then we've got these 2 that are here on the saber-toothed tiger. So, that is 2 attacks from the top one. That is 1 hit and 1 miss. You see the blade just sort of carve through a bit. I mean, it's not massive damage on this big creature, but could certainly add up over time. Second one makes a pair of attacks. 2 hits this time. And suddenly this saber-toothed tiger is looking borderline bloodied. You then can just barely see past the big frame of the tiger and the other 2 enemies seems as though two more in this room on the right, the one that Ron had teleported into, disappear through a wall to the south. Okay, so that brings us to Rictavio. Rictavio is going to let's see. Tricky. He is seemingly just going to stand there, preparing something, but you're not sure what yet.
Oh boy.
So, Ron,
Here's a
What are you
question
doing?
for you.
Yeah.
My Vicious Mockery, since it doesn't have a, like, cast roll, if I cast it in melee range, is it still disadvantage?
no, because there's nothing to impose disadvantage on.
Alright, I'm going to look at the one that smacked me. I'm going to say, ow, that hurt you, asshole! Fuck you, buddy! And I'm going to give him, like, the British, like, peace sign. And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Okay. Wisdom save. Well, that's a 1.
Woo! 7 psychic damage. And
Okay.
I'm going to look back at Rictavio and say, whatever you're doing, you need to do it quick, Rictavio. And I'm going to inspire him as well.
Okay.
And then that will end my turn.
Duly noted. Okay, Dane. What are you doing? Bear in mind that you also have inspiration, which means you can basically get advantage on a d20 roll of your choice.
Okay. Am I able to reach any of them?
Not really. Well, actually, nope. You are not able to reach any of them.
Okay.
But at least you're protected for now.
You don't have a single long range weapon.
Oddly enough, that's all I am.
I have a dagger, a great sword, and
You can throw
and
the
a
dagger?
long sword.
You can throw the dagger.
Yeah, you could throw a dagger. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if you'd like to make an attack with your dagger, you could do that.
Sure. How do I do that? Just
Let me take a look and see.
that.
Oh, you got it.
Yep.
That's it. Okay, and you throw the dagger, and it sticks in one of the phantom warriors on. Well, which direction? I mean,
Well, the
would you
one,
like to attack the ones by the tiger or by the other people in the group?
the one, lined up with me towards the tiger.
Okay. And so the dagger sticks in that thing somehow. It must have some sort of corporeal form, though it doesn't seem entirely of this plane or of this world. All right. I guess that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Brings us to the tiger. So, the tiger is going to, well, do what it was told to do and attack the phantom creatures. So, it's going to make a claw attack against the one that Dane just threw the dagger at. Okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't get advantage. I just always roll with advantage in case there is advantage. But that 24 definitely hits. But it's not auto-rolling damage. So let me fix that. Okay. It lands a pretty nasty hit on this figure. Worth noting, though, that most of them do still seem to be in pretty good shape. Okay, that's going to do it for the tiger, and so that will bring us to Yoan.
I am going to. Um, I am going to cast Thorn Whip.
Which one?
That one. The one on my side.
Okay. So yeah, you lash out with the thorns, and you do connect. And I assume you're choosing not to pull it?
Yeah. And can I pass my dagger to Dane?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Then that'll bring us to Esmeralda. All right. So Esmeralda then will she will pull out her silver short sword and make one attack with that, and pulling out her rapier in her other hand, make 2 attacks with that.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
She has inspiration, by the way.
Yeah, duly noted.
So if she whiffs on any of them, use it.
All right. So she seems to miss with that one short sword attack, but both rapier strikes do land. Seems like she does a pretty good amount of damage to the one that she's squared up with. To the point that this thing is now struggling to hold itself together.
I just look over and go, damn! Remind me not to piss her off.
All right, and then that ending her turn, that'll bring us back to the Phantom Warriors. So, that one immediately attempts to retaliate against Esmeralda. 2 attacks with its longsword. One of which actually does seem to hit, but not really for that much damage. More a shallow nick than anything else. Then the one on Ron
Has disadvantage on its first attack.
has disadvantage. Okay. That is correct. Well, either way, it would have been an 11.
That is a nope.
And then a 21.
Yeah, yep.
Alright, so you take 4 points of force damage.
Alright.
Alright.
So even though it's a sword, it's just like a punch with the sword?
Sort of, yeah. It's almost, it's like a, almost like it's trying to just impose itself in the same space that you're occupying, and that's what's causing the damage to you.
Ah, gotcha.
All right. So then, seemingly from the wall, just below that one that attacked Ron, you see a blade just swing out sort of blindly twice. But it does not land either time, and so Ron is unscathed.
You just see Ron look over at the wall and go, "What the hell? There's things in the walls. I don't like them at all."
Alright, so next up are the two on the Tiger. That is 2 hits from the first one.
Oh no.
Your tigers get stomped.
This place has not been kind to tigers.
Mm-mm.
Poor tiger.
Alright, and the next one hits once and misses once. And the Tiger is on death's door. Like 1 HP away. Okay. So then, similar to what happened over by Ron, a pair of blades just appear through the wall to the south. One seeming to make a couple of attacks against Dane, just swinging blindly. And that is a 22 to hit. Let's see. So yeah, that's going to hit your 16 AC. So you take 6 points of force damage from that attack. And then an 18 to hit, which is also going to hit your 16. So the first attack you took 6 points. The second attack you take 8 points. And then 2 blind swings of the Tiger through the wall. 2 misses.
Ooh.
Yay.
It lives to attack another round.
Yep. And that is going to be the end of their turn, which brings us back to Rotavio. And let's see. Rotavio. Okay. Double check something. He is still preparing something. But that's what you got. He seems to be approaching completion, though. That's it for Otavio. Ron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look the guy in front of me square in the face and say, "Would you stop trying to push your way into my space? This is my space, you dick." And I'm gonna flip him off and do Vicious Mockery at him again.
Alright. That's a nat 20.
Alright. I'm gonna look at the wall where the sword came out and say, "And you too, you stop it too." Not that it does anything, but...
Indeed.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. So, that brings us then to Dane. What are you doing? Are you trying to say anything, or are you just attacking?
Oh, I'm gonna throw a dagger at the one that's lined up with me.
Okay, cool. Alright, that does hit. And this one is now kind of struggling to keep its form as well. Okay, that's it.
That's it.
Alright, Saber-Tooth Tiger.
Don't
It's
let
going
your
to make-
last attack be in vain.
It's going to make a claw attack. And its last attack is in vain, as it rolls a natural 1.
Oh no.
So, Yoan, what are you doing?
I am going to drop concentration on my tiger to cast Conjure Animals again.
And bring another saber-tooth tiger.
No, I am going to cast Giant Wolves on the ceiling above us so
What?
that we can walk underneath them. It's part of what makes giant spiders awesome. They can climb walls and stuff.
Oh,
For
I heard giant
fun.
wolves.
Yeah, I heard
No.
giant wolves
Same.
too.
I
I
was
meant
like,
to say giant spiders.
Okay, because that was kind of a weird visual.
yeah, I was like, wait a second, wolves? Since when can wolves climb walls?
No, giant spiders.
Not the wolf spiders, the spider wolves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, and how many are you summoning?
2.
2. Okay.
Can cast 2. They are large. But I think, is the ceiling high enough that we can walk underneath them?
It is. The ceiling here is about 20 feet high.
Okay. And
To clarify, where specifically would you like them? Like over the box that you and Dane are in, and then like the one that Esmeralda, Rictavio, and Ron are in, or would you like to orient them somehow other than that?
I want them above here
You can get one there.
Yep,
and here.
got it.
And I am going to tell them to attack these two.
Got it.
And they can climb on the ceiling above us and drop in behind them if they so choose.
Okay.
For the melee attack. So their ranged attack they can do in the ceiling, melee attack they can drop in behind them.
Okay. Just for being able to make sense of all this crap, I'm going to put them on the layer that only I can see, but they are there.
Okay. Good, yeah. That way Dane can melee attack now. Now that
Indeed.
he's ran out of daggers.
Actually, for a bonus action,
Running out of shit, bro.
can I toss my dagger to Dane? Since I didn't really use
Sure.
a bonus action. Alright, I'll do that.
Okay. So, Dane, you have another dagger to throw if you want. All right. And then that's it for Yoan?
Yep.
Okay. Esmeralda, then, is going to continue her furious attacking. So... that is 2 hits with the rapier and another whiff with the short sword. So, the first hit with the rapier dissipates the one that's standing across from her, and so the thing just sort of clutches at the spot where it got pierced before just turning to mist and disappearing. Esmeralda will then turn that second attack on the figure across from Ron. And it is still there and still reasonably intact, but it's definitely showing some wear. All right. That's going to do it for her. So it is their turn. And so we will go with the one that was just attacked. It will attack. Ron again. First attack with the longsword is a 15 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, you take 6 points of force damage.
Alright.
Second attack is a 19 to hit.
Just barely.
You take 7 points of force damage.
Alright. Ron is officially looking a little rough.
Okay.
Just a
then
little
the-
rough.
A bit.
A bit. Okay, then the blade that had swung out from the wall before swings again. First one,
Can't hear you.
16 to hit Rom.
Yep.
You take 10 points of force damage.
Alright.
This is with disadvantage because they can't see through the wall. 19 to hit.
Yep.
9 points of force damage.
Alright. Yep. Ron's looking rough. Real rough.
Okay. Then the flailing blade near Dane is going to attack twice. First one is a 14, which does not hit your 16 armor class. Second is a 9, which also does not hit your 16.
Yay.
So then, another blade appears from the wall near Dane, swings a couple more times. First is an 8, which does not hit. Second is a 19, which does hit. You take 7 points of force damage from that.
Who is that?
Dane.
Me.
Okay.
Alright. Then the other two that had been engaged with the tiger will close the distance.
Oh, the spiders aren't on the initiative order.
Because they're on the invisible layer, their initiative is also invisible.
Gotcha.
What's their initiative?
Their initiative is 20.
Damn.
Okay. Gosh darn it, why are they always in the same spot?
Yeah, it's the same spot as the tiger.
Alright. So then you get 2 attacks against Yoan. An 18 to hit,
Yeah.
10 points of force damage. And a 13 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. Then 2 attacks against Dane. Ooh. Okay, that's a crit. But it's a weak crit, so you only take 5 points of force damage.
My gosh.
Okay.
And a 16 to hit, which is your armor class, so it does hit, but you only take 4 points of force damage.
You lucky duck.
Kind of, yeah. Alright, so then that will do it for them, and bring us to Rictavio, who... let's see. Finishes uttering a spell, at which point a circle erupts from the place where he is standing, encompassing 10 feet from him in any direction, even seeming to continue through walls and such. And let's see. Alright, so this circle appears, and the circle itself seems to just glow with this golden radiant energy. You're not entirely sure what it does just yet, but it could come in handy. Alright. That's it for Octavio. Ron, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look at the one in front of me. I'm gonna hold my finger up and say, wait a second. I'm gonna say, what's that behind you? And I'm going to use that as disengage. And I'm going to run here. And I'm gonna say, Esmeralda, kick his ass! And I'm gonna inspire her.
Indeed.
That'll end my turn.
Okay. Dane, what are you doing?
Use that sun sword on the one right in front of me.
Okay. Go ahead and let's see.
Can't hear you.
Did we not add the sun sword to his thing? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope, no, it's not there.
Okay. Well, 1 second.
I feel like the captain thing on SpongeBob.
Why is that?
I can't hear you.
Okay. So Austin, go ahead and let's see. Lethal. No.
Too late. Noise is already made.
No. Okay. Austin, go and roll a d20 for me. Okay. With all your modifiers and stuff, that is still just barely enough to hit this thing. And so, you swing with the sun sword. Go ahead and roll a d8 for me. Okay. So that. All right. Sorry. You swing, and there's this glowing wound that appears across the ghostly figure. And it disappears, seemingly destroyed.
Damn.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else from Dane?
I get to attack again, correct?
I believe you do.
I'm pretty sure fighters at that level get 2.
Yep, so give me a d20
Damn!
and a d8.
That's not... He doesn't crit on 19 yet, does he? Because fighter. Because I know that's a fighter.
I'm not sure.
I don't think that one's yet. Oh, yep, it is crit on 19.
Haha!
All right. So double that d8 you rolled. All right, and
Can't hear you.
I just said okay, not bad. All right. And so then you swing at this other one that's up on Yoan and deal a good bit of damage to it. It is still standing and reasonably strong looking, but it's certainly showing some wear. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Cool. Then that will bring us to the giant spiders. Let's
I feel like Ron is now terrified of my spiders.
At this point, Ron looks up and goes, "Ah!" Seeing a giant spider above him.
All right. So, the spider directly above the figure is going to drop down just enough to make a bite attack. Which just barely misses. Okay, the other one is going to drop far enough to do the same thing, nearly grazing the top of Yoan's head, as Yoan's, kind of a tall one, but it snaps down toward the enemy, and with another biting attack, just barely hits. And suddenly this thing is looking pretty rough as well. Okay. That's going to be it for spiders. So, Yoan, what are you doing?
I'm going to turn around and face Ron and tell him to. Ron, calm down. They're on our side.
Oh, I'll reach up and, just very gently touch one.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Coincidentally, I think the spider healed me. Because I touched the spider at the same time. So. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Magical healing spiders confirmed.
Yep.
Okay.
that give quite a lot of healing, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I touched that spider and I feel a lot better. Huh.
Suddenly spiders are no longer as scary as they used to be.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Cool. So then that will bring us to Esmeralda, who is going to keep doing her crazy thing that she does. Poke, a poke, and a slash. This time both pokes miss, so she stabs with the rapier and can't seem to find her mark, and then frustrated she just swings her silvered short sword.
She is inspired.
And that is a valid point. Okay, one poke misses. The other one just barely hits. So now the other one that had been attacking Ron is looking pretty rough. Okay. That's going to be it for Esmeralda. So that brings us to the Phantoms. Okay. Seeing the circumstance and whatever that may entail, the two that you can see sort of look down at the ground where the glowing rune-filled circle is that Rictavio has recently cast. And just sort of back away through the wall, seemingly quite cautiously.
Wait, they just back up?
So it would seem.
Is that attack of opportunity?
So it would seem.
I will attack it as it leaves me.
You, your spiders, Dane.
Pretty much.
That thing's fucked.
Okay. Yoan attacks with the spear and misses. Dane, if you'd like to make an attack, just go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Okay, so that hits. And that, coupled with the other damage, the other warrior that's backing away there just disappears before it can clear the wall. Esmeralda gets an attack of opportunity on the other one, which hits. And the other one just sort of flickering, still there, still barely able to hold itself together. You can see it just almost kind of turn to a fog as it begins to back through the wall.
Ron's missing a lovely pun opportunity.
What?
You're missing a wonderful pun opportunity.
Yoan can very well do that.
It is not in Yoan's personality to give the pun.
Okay.
I'm
Ron's
just
still
tell-
enamored by the spider.
Indeed. Okay, so with no enemies in sight, what are you doing?
I'm gonna reach out and touch the spider, and hopefully it heals me again.
Okay.
It takes a big bite of your neck.
Just sort of hangs there, not really emoting at all, as spiders do or don't do.
I'm gonna scratch its back.
It seems to like that.
And I would say, given the circumstances, we can drop initiative.
There's no more swords poking at us through the walls.
No.
I'm gonna look over at Yoan and say, "Hey, Yoan, did you know these spiders heal you when you touch them?"
No, I didn't, Ron.
Oh.
Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome.
Does anything come outside towards me?
No?
Alright.
What was that spell, Rictavio? That's Ron saying that.
He just, says, I invoked the power of the Morning Lord. The creatures knew they stood no chance, and rather than fight on in vain, it would seem they chose to continue whatever semblance of an existence it is that they lead.
Right. Well, I am thoroughly beaten up. Should we have a quick poke around here and go back to the wagon and rest?
That would probably be for the best. But I want to see what was happening up here first. So?
I'm gonna inspect the wall that rose up.
Okay,
Can I Arcana check it?
you can.
I can't hear you.
It certainly doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of everything here. Seems as though it might, in fact, be magical. Or at least magically produced.
I'm going to exclaim, this wall was not here before. I can assure you of that. And I will put on a smug smile. Like I've announced something great.
I ask Ron if he knows how to dispel it.
Do you have a hammer?
Do I have a hammer? Let me check.
From where I am, I'm gonna just kind of take a step back, and I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on the wall.
Okay.
Oh, I get my dagger. From wherever Dane threw it.
Okay.
Did my Eldritch Blast do anything?
It launches and hits the wall and dissipates. There's kind of a loud thud as it kind of punches the thing, but doesn't really make any notable dent.
I look to Yoan. This wall is far more magical than I am.
I mean, we could just continue down the path and explore where the ghost came from.
Okay. Can we take the healing spiders with us as I look up?
Yes, the spiders will come with us.
Cool. Ooh,
And I guess
I lean in to Yoan. Can I ride one?
I think you're too heavy for the spider.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
But yeah, they just scurry along above us.
I'm not paying attention to anything other than the spiders at this point. Just watching them with the utmost fascination.
Okay. So which one were you proceeding toward?
Which way do you want to go? I mean, I would just go towards the one where my spiders were at.
I'm following the spiders.
All right. So as you continue on through the now open door, Ron, you recognize this room as the one that you had briefly teleported into. As a reminder, you see basically wreckage of old bunk beds, dirty windows that don't allow very much light in, and 4 empty armor stands.
Hey, Yoan, this is the room that I came into and saw those guys.
I want to, explore the room and see if I see any reason why ghosts are congregating in this spot.
Okay. I guess go ahead and make an investigation check. Nothing really stands out about this place as compared to any other part of the mansion.
Okay. Can I figure out why there are bunk beds there?
Okay. Go ahead and call that an intelligence check. Okay. You gather that this may have been a room in which the Knights of the Order of the Silver Dragon had a dormitory or quarters of sorts. And so all the knights that dwelled here with the great dragon Argynvost slept here.
So it could very well just be, dead knights that are guarding this area. Or at least be here.
Doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
I say, hey, what about that dragon who asked us to save his people? Or save his knights? Were those the knights he was talking about?
I don't know. But when Dane hit one, it did vanish.
Only the one did, though. The other one just took damage.
Do you feel any different, Dane? Or does the sword feel any different?
The sword does not seem to feel any different.
The sword is indifferent.
I'm gonna finally tear my vision away from the spider and look around the room.
Okay. Just looking around for things that might stick out at you, or are you like
Yeah.
digging through stuff, or what's the plan?
No, I'm gonna look around for anything of interest to Ron.
Okay. Make a perception check. Just kind of a shithole.
Alright. I saw the spider, so I'm back to fixating on the spider.
All right. Anything else? Would seem not.
Nope.
No.
Okay. So what now?
Go into the other room.
Okay. Is everyone going with Dane?
Yep.
All right.
Me
You
and my
proceed down the hallway.
spiders.
Yep. You proceed down the hallway and peering through the open door of this other room, you see a number of tattered, faded drapes, presumably covering more windows. Empty torch sconces, broken bunk beds, and armor stands that are all strewn about the floor.
Can I investigate for any clues on, who lived here and such?
Sure. Are you more looking or digging? Basically, are you perceiving or investigating?
Investigating.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Okay. Poke around and don't really find much different from the other room at the end of the hall. Seems, for all intents and purposes, kind of the same sort of deal.
Okay. Still curious on why they thought this was so important.
Anything else anyone would like to do here?
I feel like there should be something, and you're hinting at it, but I don't know what it is.
I'm not
Can I-
necessarily hinting. I'm just, I want to keep
Hinting.
things progressing.
Can I look out the window to see if, we shifted around the house or something when we moved? Or when the, wall closed?
Oh, so you're trying to see if part of this trap involved the hallway itself moving or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, looking out, it looks as though everything is still where you left it.
Okay, cool. Do we see any other way out? Like, did we just walk back and forth in between the two rooms?
Yeah, with that newly raised wall, there is just a straight hallway between the two rooms. The wall on one side, a few windows through the northernmost wall on the other side, and then, obviously the towers all have windows as well.
Okay. In that case, can I go... And Braun said the wall was magical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go back to the wall and cast Dispel Magic at level 4?
Sure. Let's see. Yoan was the one who made that check in the room, correct? The investigation check?
Yeah.
Alright. As you're turning around and leaving the room, you sort of hit your foot on a piece of the wreckage, and you hear a little
Oh, I don't know.
clattering, tinkling sound inside.
Can I look at it?
You can.
What's in it?
So you open what turns out to be a small little wooden container, not much larger than like a small jewelry box, but just large enough to contain 4 vials of some sort of liquid.
Do I know what kind of liquid it is?
You might. Would you like to make some sort of check to find that out?
I would.
What kind of check would you like to make?
Hmm. I want to know if I've ever seen this before. Can't hear you.
So you're angling for a history check here?
I believe so.
Okay. Go ahead. Alright. Looking at this liquid, the sort of thick texture and vaguely yellowish tinge to it is reminiscent of some things that you've seen in your occasional travels into more settled, populated areas, particularly in apothecaries and potion shops and the like. If you're not mistaken, these may be potions of invulnerability.
What does that entail?
Being invulnerable.
Essentially, for a short time after drinking the potion, usually no more than a minute, the drinker has resistance to essentially all known types of damage.
Wow.
As you swirl it around, you can see the yellowy color as it sort of mixes the entire potion. Turns almost to a dull orange, almost like a rusty color.
Well, I look at it very curiously, and then I will put it in my pocket. How many are there? 2?
4.
4? I will put them in my pocket.
Okay.
Okay.
So now you wanted to go and cast Dispel Magic.
Yep.
Okay.
At level 4.
Okay.
Can I roll a check to see if I can figure out whether or not I would fit on one of these spiders? Regardless of what Yoan said, I want to ride one.
I guess make an intelligence check? I mean, probably. Maybe.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to sit on one of the spiders. Just gently.
Okay.
I mean, they're also on the ceiling.
There's that.
Oh, are they? I thought they'd come down.
Yeah. No, I have them walking above us the entire time. So you would have to convince me to let you ride on one.
I'm gonna try to. Are they like? They're how tall is the ceiling in this room?
About 20 feet.
If I were to get on a bunk bed and jump, could I potentially grab a spider?
Maybe. You
I'm
can
gonna
certainly
try.
try.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try.
All right. Give me an athletics check. All right. So yeah, you kind of climb up on this rickety old remnant of a bunk bed and launch yourself up, trying to sort of like jungle gym this this spider. And you fall about a good foot short and just sort of thump back down to the ground.
I turn around and look at Ron, and look at the ceiling, and look back down at Ron, and call the spider down. And be like, okay.
Yay! I will very gently and gingerly try to ride the spider.
Okay. Yoan, you could swear the spider just looks at you as though to ask, what the fuck?
I just shrug.
Okay. So the spider just sort of stoically stands there while Ron is being Ron.
Yep. After a minute or so, I'll hop off of it and give it like a double-handed scratch on its back.
Okay.
Okay,
Ooh.
yeah. I turn back towards the wall, trying to dispel the magic.
All right. So I need you to make an ability check using your spellcasting ability.
Yours would be wisdom?
Sorry, one sec. Any spell of thermal. Okay, so it's 4th level or lower. Okay. I make an ability check using my spellcasting ability.
Mm-hmm.
So just wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's higher than. Well, hopefully the spell's less than 17.
Okay. So yes, you cast
Less than
Dispel
7.
Magic. And yeah, the wall just disappears before your eyes.
Cool. Yeah, guys, we should probably head out and, yeah, rest a bit.
I'm gonna grab just a little piece of rubble from the other, like, from the room we were just in. And as I'm walking past, like, that T intersection, I'm gonna just throw the rubble roughly where I stepped when the wall popped up, and I'm gonna quickly run to the rest of the guys' side of the T intersection before the rubble hits.
Okay. The little bit of rubble just sort of skips across the floor, seemingly not triggering anything.
Oh. Okay.
All right, so you find yourselves back in the hallway that you entered through. There is a door now on your left as you're kind of returning, leading to the room with the fireplace. And straight ahead of you, there is the collapsed balcony. Spanning the gap kind of toward the branch on your left is that pew. And, well, there's also a branch to your right.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Where'd you put my meds?
One second, let me double check.
Hey, Dane.
Yes.
I believe you have my dagger still.
No, I said I gave those back.
Oh. And I checked my belt and I realized, oh yeah, I guess you did. Sorry about that. I must have been watching the spiders. I got an idea. Hey, Yoan. Oh, unless Yoan's not there.
Currently AFK.
Gotcha. I'm gonna well, since you're there, I'm gonna poke my head into the room where the dragon thing came out of the chimney.
Okay.
The fireplace. Is the fireplace whining again?
No.
I'll poke my head and say, hello? Any dragons in here?
No response.
Damn. I was hoping I could ride two awesome things today.
What happened?
I just poked my head in to see if the fireplace was whining again.
Oh, okay.
But since you're back, Yoan, we should... Do you want to investigate the dragon side?
Sure, I guess.
We could potentially use the spiders to help us cross. Like, just have them stick to the wall, and we can just kind of use them to hold on to so that we don't fall.
Hey, Eric, how long will it take them to make a web across that we can walk
probably
on?
not long.
That we can walk on.
Like fully walk. I don't know. Say it'd be feasible within maybe a couple minutes.
Okay. I just tell them to make a web across this so that we can walk across it.
Okay.
And I turn towards Ron and I say, watch this.
I sit and watch in absolute amazement.
Yeah, and over the next 2 or 3 minutes, the spiders almost entirely cover the gaping chasm that was there where the balcony had collapsed. And there's just this sort of flexible, almost trampoline-like surface now that spans the entire missing section.
Hey, Yoan, where does all that webbing come from?
They're fey creatures.
Oh. I'm gonna reach down and touch the web.
Okay.
Is it sticky? Is it springy?
It is a bit sticky.
I'm gonna like kind of push my hand down in it to test to see like how much strength it has.
Seems reasonably strong. So much so that it would probably take an average person. It would be difficult, though not impossible, for an average person to break through if they were straining against it.
Against Ron's better judgment, he's just going to carefully walk across rather than jump like it's a trampoline and jump to the other side.
Okay.
So.
And so you proceed across. So did you say you're immediately following the direction the dragon thing went? Or are you...
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just going to get to that other edge of the hallway and just stop and wait for everybody else.
Okay. Yeah. So are you all going that way?
Yep.
All right. You traverse the webbing with no issue, and on your left now, you can look over the banister and see the entry hall of Argynvostholt. Straight ahead of you, you can see what looks like the base of a tightly winding spiral staircase. And about 10 feet ahead of you to the right, you can see a closed set of double doors.
Hey, yo, and your spiders can't open doors, can they?
No.
Spiders do not have
Okay.
opposable thumbs.
Do I hear any noise coming from the closed door? Or doors?
Let's see. Make a perception check.
Okay.
No, you don't hear anything.
I will creep down to the double doors and put my ear against the nearest one.
Okay. You still don't hear anything.
I'll just turn around and look at Yon and shrug.
I want to walk up to the door he tried listening at and open it.
I'm going to step back about 10 feet.
Okay. So Yoan opens the door. And it swings surprisingly smoothly into the room ahead. And kind of taking in its contents, you can see that everything in this room is draped in cobwebs. Between curtained windows, you can see a black marble fireplace with a sculpted mantelpiece, above which hangs a framed portrait of a handsome, well-dressed man with a wry smile and a thick mane of hair. Opposite the fireplace is a large bed, with a rotting mattress and wooden posts carved to resemble dragons. Across from the double doors stands a tall wardrobe, its doors hanging open, revealing a dark and empty cavity. The only other piece of furniture is an overstuffed leather chair, faces the fireplace.
I point at the painting and ask if that looks like Strahd to Ron.
I'll come and peek around Yoan. Does it look like Strahd?
It does not look like Strahd.
Nope. It's not Strahd.
And as a matter of fact, it looks kind of like the figure that you saw looking out the window at you from the courtyard.
Because, and I point that out to Ron, that look, and I guess Dane, Octavio, and Esmeralda, that looks like the person I saw looking out into the, when we were out in the courtyard.
I'm gonna cast a message at the painting.
Okay.
And I just want to send a message saying, "Hello, we mean no harm. We're trying to help."
There is no response.
Can I go and look in the overstuffed chair? Like we can't see, we can only see the back, right?
No, you can see
Oh.
the chair, because the fireplace is situated to your left. It's on that wall. And the chair is sort of facing it, so you have kind of a side view of the chair. There doesn't seem
Okay.
to be anyone or anything in it.
I will just. Oh, God.
I want to see if there's like any I don't know, secret passages or any storage containers or anything in here
Okay.
that can hold clues.
All right. Go ahead and make an investigation check. All right. Looking around, you rifle through the kind of limited things in the room, and you don't really find anything other than what you initially saw. The chair is empty. The bed is, well, a mess. It's rotting and falling apart. The wardrobe is open, empty, nothing in it. And the fireplace, unlike many of the fireplaces here, just seems to be a fireplace.
So
I still don't trust the fireplace.
Yoan walked in and investigated this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow Yoan in, and I'm gonna head straight to the fireplace. Same thing. Prestidigitation on the underside of the fireplace, or where the logs would go, and I'm going to kind of look inside and see if I can see anything.
Okay. Make, I guess, an investigation check. You are quite satisfied that there's nothing here.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over and look at the picture too.
Okay.
See if there's anything behind the picture.
All right. Well, the picture is hanging just above the mantle of the fireplace.
Oh, okay.
We can still take the picture down.
I can't roll my investigation check since it's part of the on top of the fireplace. Can I?
Sure. You don't see anything.
Okay. I'm gonna stare at the picture in its eyes. Do its eyes seem to follow me around the room?
Not really.
It's not like the painting I saw at Strahd's castle.
You said there were more doors down this hallway?
More a single archway at the very end that seems to open to the base of a tight spiral staircase.
I'm just gonna... Oh, go ahead.
Do we have anything more to check here?
I'm just gonna prestidigitation and clean off all the spider webs that are all around the room.
Okay. The room certainly is cleaner than when you found it.
Okay.
All right. How's Melkar doing out there? Still gone? Or just muted?
Muted.
Oh, oops. How much time has passed in game throughout this whole session besides the like 5-ish minutes I was with group?
10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning of the session when they walk into the mausoleum and all that, it probably hasn't been much more than 10 minutes. I mean, maybe, well, they had to move the pew, so let's call it a solid 20 minutes.
I guess I'm just still out there working on my staff.
Okay.
I got
Melkar's
about
taking session off.
a little over 2 hours left to go.
All right. So back to the rest of the group. Ahead of you is the spiral staircase, and of course, there's always the areas that you've already explored.
To the spiral staircase?
Sure. I'm gonna shut the door that we opened behind me as I walk out of the room.
Okay. So you approach the spiral staircase, and much like the smaller ones that you had taken to make your way up the tower to the Sun Sword, the staircase itself is really only about 5 feet wide, really wide enough for a single person to traverse comfortably at one time. I guess now would be a good time to pick out marching order.
I still have my spiders crawling above us.
Okay.
I'm under the
Kind of a
rear
tight
most.
squeeze for them, just for reference, but they can fit.
Okay.
And what did you say, Taylor?
Oh, I am under the rearmost spider.
Okay.
I guess I'll go first.
All right.
I will go second.
I'll follow you on.
Okay. And I guess Esmeralda will file in behind Ron. Rotavio will bring up the rear. So, Dane, are you heading up?
Yep.
Okay. So you make your way up the stairs, and you find a black curtain, a few holes in it, but mostly intact, hanging just beyond an archway. And that's it.
How big are the holes? Big enough to see through?
You could probably get at least a decent look at things through there.
Okay. I look through the curtain and see what's behind there.
All right. So stretching out in front of you, you can see a pretty long hallway. Way down at the other end, probably 70, 80 feet, you can see a closed door at the other end of the hallway. On your left, about 10 feet away, is a pair of double doors. Toward about the midpoint of the hallway, you can see a good bit of rubble, debris, and looking up you can see a few rays of the dull Barovian sunlight kind of shining through. It looks as though part of the roof of the mansion has just collapsed in on this floor. Beyond that, you can see another pair of double doors on the left, probably a good 60 feet down the hall from you. And even beyond that, just before that door at the very end, is what looks like another door closed. The pile of rubble toward the midpoint of the hallway seems to spill out to the right, and it's hard to tell if this was an intentional break for another hallway or if walls themselves have just collapsed here. But you gather that there's some kind of opening about 30 feet down the hall on the right.
Okay. Do I see any traces of where the dragon went?
You
So it was
don't.
leaving dust everywhere.
You don't.
Do the curtains look dusty, or do they look like they've been moved recently?
Just seems to be hanging there. It's just a single black curtain, not moving, not really any more dusty than anything else here.
But is it less dusty than anything else here?
Not really.
This staircase, does it go up and down, or does it just go up?
It only connects the floors that you came from and are currently going to. So second and third floors for those who are keeping track.
I'm going to very rudely kind of turn around and kind of like, excuse me, well, not rudely, I guess, but still like push my way through and go back to the room we were just in, like the room with the painting.
Mhm.
And I'm going to look at the painting, and in Draconic, I'm going to say, hello?
No response.
Okay, I'm going to leave and go back up, and I'll just be in the back now.
Okay.
Alright, so I move the curtain aside.
Okay. You can all now see this long hallway out in front of you.
Alright.
Just maybe walk down it till the first door we
Okay.
find.
Do that.
Can't hear you.
Why not? I know why not, but why not? First door you find is a pair of double doors. On your left, about 20 feet down the hallway. They are currently closed.
Well, I want to open them.
Okay. So you swing the doors open, and through the heavy coating of dust and cobwebs that you've sort of grown used to here, you see faded war banners adorning the walls of this pretty spacious chamber, in the center of which stands a heavy wooden table. An iron chandelier hangs above the table, which is surrounded by 6 high-backed chairs with wood-carved dragons perched atop them. Slumped in 5 of the chairs are skeletal humans in tattered chainmail.
And the last chair doesn't have anything in it?
Correct.
I take out the sun sword and start walking towards the empty chair.
As soon as you start walking into the room, all 5 of the corpses tilt their heads in your direction. One of them growls, "Why do you, the living, disturb the dead?"
We were sent here to help find objects to defeat Strauss. Strahd, gosh.
I poke my head in. Are you really a talking skeleton?
I once again glare daggers at Ron.
Okay. So the one that had spoken up. It says, "We are unable to help you in this quest. not out of any desire to serve the devil, but due to the oaths we have sworn to the head of our order.
What oaths were that?
As head of the order, he is the sole decision maker when it comes to what we do and what is in the best interest of not only ourselves and our ideals, but all of Barovia.
Do you know where we could find him?
He can be found just a few feet down the hall. Leave this room as you came in and turn right. Go through the broken wall and another crumbled wall will reveal his chamber.
He's not gonna kill us, is he?
I make no promises.
What?
I make no promises.
Okay. Sorry, my computer went to screensaver.
Did you guys happen to see a kind of smoky dragon fly this way, by any chance?
The one that has been speaking so far just sort of sits staring at you as you've asked the question. Doesn't say
Right.
anything.
My last question. Is there anything that we can do to help you?
No response.
Alright. Well, I will leave you to it, and I will just kind of poke my head, or pull my head out from the doorway, and...
Yeah, I'd just say thank you and head out.
Alright, and they just watch wordlessly as you all leave the room.
I poke my
Sure.
head in, press digitation, and clean up, like, the immediate area in the doorway, and then I'll
Okay.
shut the door.
Okay. So, about 10 feet down the hall from where you exit this room, the rubble has obscured most of the floor. But you can see that the wall on your right, as you're proceeding down the hallway, has given out in a few places.
I grab Yoan and I say, wait, Yoan, this might have been what that dragon thing was talking about. Those guys might have been knights. This person we're going to see might not be good for our health.
What time of day is it, Eric?
It is getting rather late. Probably pushing 7, 8 o'clock, nearing dusk.
Well, would you like to rest and then come back here in the morning?
Sure, that might be best.
I ask the group's opinion.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Esmeralda in particular tells you that she would probably be considerably more helpful with a good night's rest.
As would I.
Okay. Yeah. I guess return back out to the, whatchamacallit?
The wagon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I do that, I want to open the door with the knights, poke my head in and say, you know what, we decided we're probably going to come back tomorrow. It's a little late. You think he'll still be here tomorrow?
Can't hear you.
Okay, I was holding it that time. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So they all, as you open the door again, you just see and hear their heads turn, and you can see them just staring at you with this faint bluish glow in their eyes. And none of them respond.
All right, set an appointment for tomorrow morning. We'll be back to see him. Thank you, and I'll close the door.
All right.
And I'll rejoin the group.
Okay. So you make your way back over the web, down the stairs through the main entry, and outside to the wagon, where you find Melkar, who has just been sitting, working on his focus this whole time.
I ask him how it's going.
Good. Should be done soon.
All right.
Find anything
So-
in there?
Found some ghosts, and they hit me with sticks. We found some healing spiders, too. For whatever reason, they listen to Yoan.
I just, I don't know, walk away from Ron at that point.
Are the spiders following you too?
Yeah, they're still following me. They can follow me for like an hour.
Yeah, it hasn't been an hour yet.
I can speak with animals and say hello.
And I'm sure they respond. I mean, they're Fae, so.
Oh,
Do Fae animals respond?
I would say yes. So you say hello. All right. Well, they also say hello.
I shudder.
They're so nice, though. And I'll walk over and kind of scratch one on its back.
It just doesn't react.
Oh.
Okay. So what's the plan for this evening's rest? Are you holding up outside the mansion? I guess, what's the plan? Just in general.
Yes. In the wagon.
That would be some pretty close quarters.
Maybe we have to take watches.
Yeah.
There was a saber-toothed tiger. Is the tiger in there?
The tiger's body is in there.
The
Oh,
tiger,
okay.
yeah, the tiger is in there.
Then on top of the wagon.
Okay. And just setting watches for the evening.
Yeah.
All right. And who's going to be on those?
I can cast a ritual for my tiny hut. I would like to begin to do that.
Okay.
Can bards do that?
My tiny hut?
Do you have ritual casting as a bard?
If it's got a ritual tag, you can cast it as a ritual.
You know, your
You
class
need to
has
have
that
the ritual caster feat.
Oh, do you?
Either a feat or your class has to come with it.
I don't know.
Should be like one of the first things. I'm looking.
Yes, Bard does have the ritual class feature.
Okay.
Yep, Bard, Cleric, Druid, and Wizard. So I would like to cast that as a ritual.
Okay, and so you do, and after 10 minutes, the hut appears. So you're kind of situating yourselves on top of the wagon.
I was already
Is
there.
that right?
Yeah,
Or we
I
could
just tell
be-
everybody to gather in close. And
How
I cast
high
it.
is the hut?
Huh?
How tall is the hut?
It's a 10-foot radius dome.
Okay.
So 10 feet.
Yeah. So it probably encompasses like at least part of the wagon and a little bit of ground, maybe.
Well, the thing is, since it's a dome, it really depends on where you're casting. Are you casting on the ground, or are you going up top and casting there?
I'm gonna go like inside the wagon and cast it from the inside to like
Okay.
encompass the wagon and as much of the surrounding area as I can.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, sort of extending just beyond the top of the wagon, then, and then kind of all around, not quite reaching the ground, but pretty close. The dome appears, and you have your hut for the evening.
I'm going to stay awake long enough to finish my focus.
Okay.
Can I take some time to fix up my suit of armor as well?
Yeah, and I'll get to that and some other mechanical stuff for you.
Can I try to help with that too at some point?
I want to watch him do it. I'm not very able-bodied, but with a hammer, but I want to watch.
Okay.
Well, I figured I could possibly help with the magical aspect of it.
Okay.
And I start scribbling down lyrics to a song I just came up with based on that suit of armor.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll get into some of the details of that and also cover what may or may not happen over your night's rest next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Indeed.